All my life, I've been exploring our planet. I've visited over 100 countries.
Keep going. Left. Good. Yeah, straight ahead.
I'm fascinated by the world around me. I just encounter it, well, slightly differently.
Stop! Oh, what was that?
It was in with the gate. Sorry, it's my bad.
My name's Amr Latif, and I've been blind for 25 years.
We're off!
So I've spent most of my life traveling in my own unique way.
Wow, mashallah. Oh my God, look at this.
Whenever I'm abroad, I found sighted folk to guide me.
Is it just three of us dancing?
No, we joined in with other people.
Oh, really?
In return, I've shown them into my blind world.
You want to listen to this? It's like a motorway of bees.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
This time, I'm teaming up with the comedian Sarah Pascoe.
Watch out! Ah! Where did she horn you up the bum?
She'll be my Traveleyes as we head off to Turkey.
We're surrounded by the most incredibly huge Stonehenge of willies.
My aim is to show her that to really see the world, you don't actually need your sight at all.
No, don't wobble it. You don't.
I've been blind since I was 18. Since then, I've spent most of my time learning to explore the world without sight. Whenever I travel, I've just got to be super organised. So, for example, if you look in the wardrobe here, I've got all my long sleeve shirts there, so I can compare them easily. When I bought them originally, I try and memorise the feel. This one's got a light material, so this is quite a flowery, summery one, so I need to think about whether I'm going to take this or not. What I've learned is that I only really need one thing, and that's a travelling companion to describe what's going on around me. When I'm travelling as a blind person, you know, I totally immerse myself with everything that's going on. I've got all these inputs coming in, so, you know, the sound, the smells, the textures, and then I'm relying on my sighted person to help bring things alive. Because without their description, many of these places don't really have any shape or colour for me. The way that I travel, you know, because it's a little bit unconventional, they need to have a bit of patience and they have to be organised.
Oops, that's it. I'm fine, I nearly tripped over.
This is a pile of 1 million pairs of shoes. There's so many that I actually forget what's there. Oh my God, my wedges.
Hello, I'm Sarah Pascoe. I'm a comedian and a writer. This is my favourite bum bag, and in 48 hours I'm going to go travelling with a blind man who I've never met before. Oops.
I'm not an adventurous person at all. So I don't like scary films, I don't like spicy food, I don't want to jump off something, ever.
And yet I'm going on holiday with a blind person when I don't really know anything about being blind. I won't take a tennis racket, there's no point. They're amazing.
I don't have any idea what my role is going to be. I know he doesn't have a guide dog, so I'm feeling like, oh, it's that, I'm going to be a Labrador. And I'm going to be a Labrador and keep him safe, and I'm going to describe things to him.
So now it's just trying to get the suitcase down.
I've been having nightmares about being responsible for a blind person. In my dreams, he drowns, and I was supposed to tell him, oh, there's a swimming pool. I think it's going to be a challenge.
Sarah and I are heading to the remote mountains of eastern Turkey. It's off the tourist trail and is a region I've long wanted to explore. First, we're flying into Istanbul. This is where Sarah must learn how to guide me.
Hang on, this is a good time to cross.
Is this okay?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
sure?
Put your back,
Yeah, good. Let's go.
Quick. Oh, no. There's a motorbike. Okay. Now. Go. And then, sorry.
No worries, that's fine.
Sorry, there
It's
we go.
okay. I think it's time to do a bit of sight guide training. Sometimes I'll link arms with you like this.
Okay.
And then you can relax your arm down.
Yeah.
Just so that you feel comfortable.
Okay.
Or I'll take the back of your arm.
Okay.
And this means that I'm a few steps behind you.
And is that something that I should say as well? Like, oh, we're going single file, or just
You don't-
if I do it, you know.
If you do it, I'll be behind you.
Okay, so you
I
can
know
just
my
really-
place.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't you worry about me. I'll be with you. How
Yeah.
does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds okay. I'm quite clumsy anyway, so
Right.
good luck us, really.
Our first challenge is to find our hotel. On the far side of the city's Grand Bazaar.
There's a man on a motorbike. Why is there a motorbike in here? I thought we were in the way.
This bazaar was built almost 600 years ago as the city's main market.
You have to go there, and then that, and then there, and then that, and then there. There must be like 5 million stalls here.
It has 3,000 shops and almost 500,000 visitors every day.
Oh, so many interesting sounds. What's that happening to the right there?
Man soaring through metal.
Yeah. Oh, I can smell some spices.
Yeah.
Where's is
And
there a
this on the
spice
right
place?
hand side.
Can we stop? We're not going to be here every day, are we?
I'd like to drop the stuff off. Okay.
I'm very shy when it comes to talking to strangers, so when I first arrive at a place, I just hide in the hotel.
But, like, if you're blind and you've arrived somewhere like this that's hustling and bustling and there's loads of life going on, it really heightens my curiosity. This is where life is happening, and I want to be part of it.
Okay.
I know you really want to go to the hotel, okay?
Yeah.
But, like, do you feel a bit more
I'm just worried that we don't know where it is.
I think Sarah and I might travel in slightly different ways.
They look like napkins, but I think they're actually silk ladies' scarves. Do you
Can
know?
I touch them?
I don't know. I haven't asked.
Oh, you can touch them. It's
Can I?
fine.
No.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Check some drinks, some tea.
Thank you.
There
Very
we
kind.
go.
We're actually in a rush. I don't know why.
Where's
he's
your
doing-
face?
My face is there.
Oh, it's there. Okay.
I don't know where we are, and I don't know where we're going.
Okay. I sense that we're not too far, Sarah.
You can't sense that. The top row is red with white inside.
So there's loads of colours and lots
Oh,
of things going
yeah,
on.
huge. So,
Can we have another one?
No, we need to get to the hotel.
And do a lot of like Turkish people have this in their houses?
I know, actually.
It's exhausting. I feel like we've been doing this for 6 hours, and it's, what, 10 minutes? We're not even halfway through the bazaar. There's no comfortable silences, because that means you've completely disappeared. So actually, it's getting used to going, OK, this is there, that's there, and don't you get lost being with a 5-year-old. Oh, look, the rug man's come back now. Going to upsell him again. He's having a party. Going to stop the fun. Stop the fun and find the hotel.
Yeah.
It's me.
I love it.
I'm back. Are you having some nice tea?
Yeah, do you want some?
No, we need to get to the hotel.
Oh, do we? We can always ask somebody.
Second left.
Which way? Where's he
He's
pointing?
blind. Up there.
I'm blind. Oh, there.
First,
Up there.
second left.
Great, you were headed the right
Yeah,
way.
okay, great.
Okay.
Okay. It's not the way out. It's a tree with a ladder. And,
Sorry, a tree
yeah.
with a ladder. Oh, I can hear the birds. Can you hear the birds?
Yeah, they're free. That's what I want to be.
It's about the journey, isn't it?
It's partly about the journey, but it's partly about getting there. First impressions of Emma's personality, he's very, very positive. It's made me feel really boring. I think my experience of travelling personally is that other cultures scare me. I was so afraid of getting told off because you just put your hands up and touch people's silk scarves or their expensive dried teas, and he's just hands straight in, nose straight in everywhere. Yeah, a golden retriever, and I'm trying to pull him back on his leash. I guess what I've realised is, if you can see everything, I don't have to build from the ground to the sky what's going on.
Okay. All right, okay.
Unless I get better at describing, rather than just be whizzed through something and go, but what was that? Like, no, it doesn't matter, it's just a man selling sweet corn. There's just a weird woman shouting on her phone. I'm taking it for granted, I guess. That all whizzes by you, it's unimportant information, but for him to have information means taking the time to build it up.
Is that the right way? No. Anyway, I think it's this way. Might not be. First morning in Istanbul. It's about 5 a.m. Just got woken up by the incredible call to prayer. And it's just such an amazing sound. It's like, you know you're in Istanbul.
To explore a city blind is very different from travelling with vision. Seeing the big sights is normally dull because I can't actually see anything. Tour guides are a no-no because all they do is point at things to look at. So I have to seek out other sensory experiences that help me understand a place. And to find them usually requires local help. When I come to places on my own, I always put up a little advert. I'm looking for a pair of sighted eyes for me.
So you just... What, on the internet for a stranger?
Yes, you know, on something like Craigslist or Gumtree.
You're going to get murdered. You're going to get murdered. So what kind of thing would you write?
Well, first think of a title, I guess. Sort of something like sensational sensory tour guide.
Wanted. I want to say a deeper sensory experience, but that suddenly sounds like we're looking for something completely different.
I don't know what
you're going to end up with a really great masseuse.
So someone
so
with
what
a
about
humour.
hidden? The word hidden.
Yes. So.
The off the track, off the beaten track.
Track.
Hidden Istanbul.
Okay, that sounds good.
Show us the smelly, tactile, auditorily stimulating side of your city.
Side of your city. Come to the hotel at 9 a.m. Done.
Down.
Thank you.
I'm scared. It's scary.
We post our message on a tourism website, and the next day have 4 people interested, each with their own idea about our sensory tour.
I would definitely take Amar to a Bosphorus tour. It's a traditional tour with the ferry.
Senem is a food expert and animal lover.
You can even smell the salt and also the seagulls.
Right.
You will hear the voices of
Our music is actually a bridge between the Oriental folk and the Western music.
These music students want us to join their band.
This is too hard.
Get with it.
So you should go more quiet places.
Oz is a tour guide who's never actually met anyone blind before.
Lay down on the grasses and to imagine the forest. And
Yeah, I think that lying on the grass is a no-no. I honestly don't think you go on holiday to lie down in the field.
I'm a taxi driver and I go local pub and I will drink with the tourist woman and we go inside. Selamun alaikum. Oh, drink beer. I am also a good belly dancer. We start to shake.
This one's much more kicking of the legs and twisting an arm round like this.
It's come to that time. We say, thank you, nice to meet you.
He's a liability. This is why I worry about you doing this in cities. If I wasn't here, you'd be off in a taxi, you'd be off his face with beer, dancing out the window.
But, like, see, sometimes that's what living can be about. Like, sometimes getting these real experiences.
Completely disagree.
We settle on Senem,
Oh, there she is!
the only person we actually feel safe with.
Hello! Hello, I'm going to give you a hug. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Congratulations.
Thank you for choosing me.
Our tour guide.
Yeah, we're going?
Very good.
That's
Lead the
fantastic.
way.
Can't wait to hear these seagulls.
Yeah. Senem's first location is a food market in East Istanbul.
And do you get the smell of olives?
So many smells, they're attacking my sensory system.
And fish, also prawns on the left side.
Oh my God, that's so strong. Can you describe some fish there?
Corpses. Corpses of the sea.
Even I can taste it.
The man's going to be like, you touch it, you buy it. Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, put it back. Hidden in a side street, Senem knows a tiny cafe that only sells pickled fruit and vegetables.
Huge jars full of like pickled pears and olives and whole carrots, and there's about 17 things I've never seen before in my life.
It's
and
such a powerful smell, isn't
it's
it?
really powerful. And then behind us, they look like, I guess, an alien abortion.
And what are they? Are they in a
They're
jar?
fir cones.
But you can use the juice for what? You can mix it with honey for the asthma. Yeah, it cures asthma. And let me tell you about one thing unique
Yeah.
to Turkey also. Have you tried a pickle juice?
Pickled juice.
Yes, we drink it.
Ugh.
It's so tasty. Want to try it?
No, you throw it in the bin or down the drain.
Trust me.
Okay, let's do what the locals do.
Would you like
Okay, I'll have one sip.
Oh, great.
Okay, well,
That's it as
okay.
well.
Well, one sip.
I'm scared.
Pickle juice is made from salt, lemon, and spices. And in Turkey, it's a delicacy that's thought to have healing properties.
Cheers. It looks like, you know when a child makes their parents' dinner out of stuff that's in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Trying to be helpful. And looks nice. Thank you.
Shall we give it a go?
I love it.
Actually, this could have done with more spice, I think, to take away the taste.
Biraz daha acı alabilir miyiz? Just take a little bite first.
Okay.
And it has that.
Oh my God.
You're burning now, right?
Yeah.
You on holiday!
I need water.
Biraz var mı?
Quick.
Give him some vinegar, it's a prank. No, sensory experience. That's what we wanted. Now we're alive, right? Now we're living.
Yes, that's it. Can I have another sip?
Yeah.
Roll.
Senem quickly becomes an enthusiastic sensory guide.
I want you to feel the blossom of
Right.
the flower.
Oh, wow. Does it look nice to see?
It's lovely. We have grass here.
You're going to make me touch grass?
Yes. What else do you smell now?
By the end of the tour, Senem's completely taken over Sarah's guiding duties.
We're gonna smell some different perfumes with different flavors.
Right.
And I want you to experience that and share your feelings with me.
Oh, you
I
have?
put the same one. Look, this is my arm.
I think the phrase I would use is third wheel. Did we interview her or did he find her on Tinder?
Done.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, my sensory partner.
Yeah, she wants to grind up the city and put it up his nose. And he's very happy. He's having a great time. I shouldn't be so bitter. He's enjoying himself. That's the point. But it's making me look real bad as a guide.
You know me better than I do know myself.
I don't even want to interrupt and go back. Hi, guys.
You all smell good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah?
Sarah, do you want to sniff me?
No, thank you.
I think, as a sighted guide, I think you're coming along
I
very
think
nicely.
I'm playing a very poor second fiddle to Senem. Is what's happening so far.
I wouldn't worry about that. Like, she's great for sensory because she drags me and she's she's a touchy-feely person.
Yeah.
But then you've got your
Boredom.
no, you've got your amazing way that you articulate things and you build pictures in my head.
Okay.
So do you feel like you are learning things?
Yeah, it's just very, very. It is what we wrote in the email. Is off the beaten track. I don't feel like we're taking a page out of a guidebook and following it.
Yeah.
I feel like we're following a crazy lady, being told to sniff things. The way that you're doing it, it's like there are doors. Every person's a door, and you open them,
And it might be information, it might be a sensation, or they might send you on to the next place. And I'm having to slow down with you. It doesn't feel like swimming, going with the tides. It's like the fish has like got out of the river and is now hopping along the grass.
Travelling blind is different. We don't snap pictures and then move on. Photos don't really work for us as souvenirs. It's meeting people that bring places to life. And our memories are made by a city's smells and sounds.
Is it just three of us dancing?
No, we joined in with other people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The next day, Sarah and I leave Istanbul.
Oh my gosh.
We're heading 600 miles east into the Pontic Mountains near the Black Sea.
To the left-hand side, there's a very fast-paced river. Some of the water's white because it's going so quickly around corners.
wow.
And then a very steep incline. Halfway up, little houses, you don't know how they're clinging on, but it's so stunning.
Our destination is a summer festival high in the hills which celebrates an ancient sport. And I need Sarah to describe it to me.
Oh, they're oily.
What can you see? Tell me what you can see.
Oh! Oh, God. There's these boys, and they've got like a three-quarter length black pants on, but I didn't realise they're slippery.
Yes, that'll be the olive oil.
Oh!
It's all right, it's
No, but they're slipping on each other. Like, it's like they're having a cuddle.
They're not having a cuddle.
Hello.
Hoş geldiniz. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Merhaba.
Merhaba.
How are you?
I'm excellent.
My name's Amr, and this is
I'm Sarah.
Sarah.
Recep.
Recep is a national champion in oil wrestling.
Four times.
times.
Champion oil wrestling.
Oil wrestling involves a pair of leather trousers, several litres of olive oil, and trying to throw your opponent to the ground.
Burada tutma yerleri var. Kisbetin içerisinde tutma yerleri var. Rakip içine sokar, şuradan tutar. Ve rakibi yener. Rakibin sırtı yere değdiği zaman maç bitiyor.
This is absolutely baffling. Because his hand inside the trousers, like beckoning, you know, like the kung fu, like come at me.
But like, are you noticing that as soon as someone's about to get on their back, they suddenly twist?
No,
Do they
it
do that?
looks much more like someone said, "Oh, can you get that out of my trousers for me?" And it's like a trick. Like, "Oh, come on, slide. Let's lube up, and you can slide your hand down there. I've lost my wallet." And the other one's just like smirking, like he fell for it again. I'm going to ask him to have a go on you, just so he can really feel what it's like.
Recep is the region's most successful wrestler, and he's organised the festival.
Türkiye'de mesela futboldan sonra en fazla seyirci kitlesine sahip branş bizim yağlı güreşlerdir. Çünkü kültür mirası bu. Sadece bir spor değil.
Ya Allah!
Thousands of people are here today, and many fights are happening at the same time.
They're actually now right in front of us, slithering around each other like snakes. Whereas over in the right-hand side, he's actually like pushing his hand on his head, like this.
Like whacking it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I felt that.
Yeah.
I can hear the slaps, yeah.
And then there's a guy, they're doing mostly all fours work. Have you ever seen frogs mating?
One on
the
back of each
female's
other?
much bigger, yeah, and the male kind of grips on desperately.
What,
and
you
that's
think
kind
that's
of
what
what
they're
we're
doing?
watching, yeah. One thing I've realised today is it's constantly having to find ways of describing things that you've never seen before, or that Amma has no framework, because neither of us have ever seen oil wrestling before or anything like this. So building a proper picture of it is very tricky.
So when they've got their shoulders on the ground, belly up to the
I've
sky...
not seen any of that yet, though.
All
I've
right,
just
so-
seen wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I don't know what the hell's going on, mate.
Sarah's descriptions are good, but I need to get close to things for them to really make sense.
He's an absolute ogre of a man. He makes Ratchib look like a chimney sweep. He could eat you for breakfast in a pita bread and go, I'm still hungry. Hello.
Hi there, how are you? Merhaba.
Merhaba.
Is it possible, because I can't see, can I touch you?
Ah, here you go. I'll take your stick. I'll take your stick.
Oh my God, wow. Mashallah. Mashallah. Oh my God, look at this.
Yeterli bence bu kadar.
Wow. How heavy are you?
135. Şimdi beni salıyorlar, benim gitmem gerekiyor.
This is cool, this is cool.
Okay.
Good luck, good luck. I can't imagine him losing.
As the afternoon progresses, the wrestlers get bigger and the atmosphere becomes more intense.
This is no more summer fate. This is now angry-looking, tough men. It's very testosterone. All of a sudden, there's a real, like, be careful who you look at, and all these men, like, kind of strutting around.
Ratchib the champion is stripped down and oiled up.
So Ratchib's walking right now, bang through the centre. He's very confident. He's glistening with oil in the sun, looking like this is exactly where he belongs. Ratchib's guy is trying to get his hand down his trousers. Ratchib's having none of it. He's pushing his arms away. It's like they're both equally strong. So they're like this, but headbutting with oil. Oh, they're kind of hitting each other very like children now, but with big arms. Children with massive, big, oily arms. Oh, and he's down! He's down!
Go on, Ratchib. Flip him over.
Oh, he's grabbing the side. Oh, he's under his arms. Oh, he's lifted his legs up. Oh, and he's going with his back. He's won. He's
Ratchib's won.
Yeah. He's crying with a tissue, pretending it's oil in his eyes.
Ratchib, well done. Where is he?
He's there.
Ratchib.
He's just finished.
Ratchib, well done.
Very good. You were always on top.
What I'm realising about Amr is that there isn't really an off switch or a bad experience.
Everything is interesting to him so far. Everything is exciting.
Oh my God.
He's like an advert for blindness.
They're almost like matador trousers, actually.
I don't know if I completely believe him because everyone has bad days.
All right, I smelled something cooking. Nice little doner kebab.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to try and get to the bottom of that. There must be other layers underneath.
So how did you become so positive? What were you like as a child?
I was quite a shy guy.
Were you?
Yeah.
I find it so hard to imagine
I
because you're
know.
such a chatterbox.
Well,
Like you're the most confident person in the room.
yeah, well, I think blindness changed me. Around about the time of 18 years old, I remember I woke up and I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody at that age, you know, you're starting to date, you're starting to drive, you're starting to go out. And I thought I can't do that anymore.
So that must have been the hardest time of your life.
I just realised that this was it, that I was going blind. And I was so scared, and I didn't want to be that blind person.
Yeah.
So I just found myself saying yes to this, yes to that.
Yeah.
And now people say, Amr, you're always positive, like, and that's why. Because if I don't keep moving, I'm gonna end up back down in that dark place. And I don't want to go there.
Yeah. I've been thinking a lot about what I'd do if I went blind. And I think I'd be really solitary. I'm already quite scared of the world. I think I'd be even more scared of the world. I think I'd feel really vulnerable. But Amma's so trusting and brings like, this warmth out in people. So everyone he meets, he's like, oh, what a nice person. It's like, because you're nice, so it makes other people nice. I think I'd just stay at home and read audiobooks.
I want Sarah to try travelling blind. I don't mean not using her eyes, but rather getting so close to things that her other senses take over. So I'm taking her to a farm near the mountain town of Traveleyes.
Merhaba, hoş geldiniz. Merhaba. Ayder Yaylası'na hoş geldiniz.
Mustafa is a honey producer, and he's agreed to show us right inside his hives.
Bunu giyiyorsun. Bir de sen giyin, bunları giyin.
Yeah.
Tamam.
He's sliding the way for us to go through.
It's like as if we're off to battle.
Burası işte bizim arılık. Burada çok ayı var. Bu saçları böyle örttük. Bir de bunu yükseğe kaldırdık. Ayı buraya çıkamasın diye.
Mustafa keeps a million bees on this homemade platform. I want to get Sarah up there to feel the bees around her.
He's an insane man who's built a shanty town of bees in the middle of the forest on rickety legs. It's a death trap, mate. It's an absolute death trap.
Once you get up.
I'm not going up on it. I honestly promise you, if you could see, you wouldn't go up there.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's safe enough. These guys do it.
No, he's a very reckless man with a death wish.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that feels fairly solid to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, you idiot. And look, I'm going to show you one of the spindly things it's standing
Right.
up on. So come forward with me. Don't wobble it.
That's
The
pretty
bees are going to
solid.
fall on my head.
I've never been in a beehive before. I just want to go up and see what it's like.
Okay. I'll wait down here.
Right, okay.
I'll sit on this rock with these dead bees.
Yavaş yavaş bu merdiven.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mustafa's honey is famous across the country because of the care that he gives to his hives.
Bu ortalama 20 gün sonra sağıma girmesi lazım.
Okay, can I touch it? Oh, wow. That's the honeycomb. Oh my God, wow, this is amazing.
Ben arıları çok güzel görüyorum ama işte çok üzülüyorum göremediği için.
I can hear. It's an amazing sound. I need to get Sarah up here. Sarah, are you down there?
Yeah?
You've got to come up here. It's incredible.
Is it?
It's amazing. It's like a motorway of bees.
Is it wobbly?
It's not wobbly at all. It's absolutely stable. I promise you.
Promise.
I promise. It's pretty stable.
No, don't wobble it. You just hit the ladder.
Oh, no, I'm going to hold it for
No,
you.
don't hold it. Don't go anywhere near it. Just leave it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on the top rung of the ladder.
Okay, can I give you my hand?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, okay. Okay, I'm up.
Well done. That's amazing. All right, you can jump down here.
I'm not going to jump
don't
anywhere
jump.
near this.
Why are you walking so slowly?
Because I can see the floor. And it's a long way down.
And what can you see now?
So I can see all of the wooden slats. There's like a picture frame,
Yeah.
but instead of a picture in it, it's got honeycomb and bees. And they've built that. It's amazing.
Sarah, you want to listen to this? Like, put your head right above it
Yeah.
and your ear towards it.
This is them just doing their business, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
It sounds like a hub of activity. It's almost like, you know, if you were in a big city in our place and you hear loads of people all around it. Oh, wow. Thousands of these bees all together working in harmony.
It is a rare moment when a sound is so powerful that it overwhelms you. But here, with a head full of bees, we're both transported into their hive.
These are so beautiful. I wouldn't even have come up here if you hadn't done it.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't... I felt bad not coming up, but I was really scared, but I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll always have done this now. I'll always know
The bees from Turkey. I do believe you now. Like, I think at the beginning I didn't believe the thing about experiencing. I thought everything would have to be completely described for hours until you had a picture, and then that was the same as seeing, rather than there's this other way of just feeling it and being inside it.
Yeah, like today I've got this, you know, the shanty town on the rickety bridge, but in each one lives a beautiful nation of bees, and I've heard them buzzing, and I'll have that picture for the rest of my life now. Like, I'd miss out half the world if I wasn't prepared to do things.
I think lots of people will think, wow, that's a really strong-willed way to live.
I'd rather, like, try things and, you know, get hurt than not try things at all.
So the next day, we continue east into the remote Kaka region.
There's a cow! There's a whole family! There's a mum and a daughter and 2 children!
I now want Sarah to experience the sound of the mountains and the alpine meadows. We're travelling towards the highest point, 3,000 metres above sea level.
There isn't anything here.
There should be a cable car.
It's a red crate.
That's what we're using to go across. Our hosts live on a farm that's so remote, there's no road to it.
It's like you're at the top of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
In a tiny crate on a piece of string.
At least it's like a metal structure.
Yeah, you can't find a positive in this. I mean, I'm doing it, but you can't pretend that this is ordinary.
Okay.
If you can hold the door.
Yep.
Okay, I'll get in, and I'll try and keep it less wobbly. Ooh, it's living on a ride at Thorpe Park. It's swinging.
God,
oh, careful, sorry, I'm so sorry. Careful of your head. Okay, I've got your bag. If you want to step your legs over.
Across?
Yeah, over. Oh, what was that? Oh, you just broken the doors. Just fallen off. There's a tiny little metal hook keeping us all safe.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, this is so exciting, isn't it?
Jeepers creepers. No, don't wobble it. Ah! This must be the house, but it's all made out of planks of wood. Just jutting out of the mountain with this most incredible view. Attacked by a tree.
Yeah. Hello. Merhaba.
Merhaba, hoş geldiniz.
Good.
My name is Metin.
Metin. This is Sarah.
My name is Sarah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Metin and his family are traditional Kaka farmers, growing everything that they need to survive. And on the mountain behind the house is his alpine meadow. This is where Metin brings his cows every spring.
We're coming into a beautiful clearing where there's grass and flowers. There's a man with glasses and he has a long cane. He's looking at us like, town folk. They can't make anything for themselves. Always in the Tesco Express. Hello!
Oh, hi!
His testicles were like the size of your head.
Burası sal yaylası. Yazın burada inekler hem aşağının köylerin sıcak ortamından işte sinekten kaçarlar. Hem de burada işte peynir, tereyağı buna benzer katık yapılır. Burada Eylül ayının 15'ine kadar kalırlar ve
There's little wooden houses with wooden roofs that go like this. So perfect little triangles just sitting on the top of these little square houses.
You know, when you're really high up, the sound is so deadened. Everything around us is so quiet.
You're right. That sparrow, stop shouting.
Yeah. The reason I've brought Sarah here is because in these mountains, there's a unique soundscape. Here I can hear the insects going around me, the cows eating their grass, but I can't encounter any man-made sound.
The biggest thing I can hear is silence. Ever since the moment I was born in London, all I've heard is a backdrop of millions of people living and eating and working in close proximity, all on top of each other, with all of the machinery and heating appliances and vehicles, and that sounded like silence until I heard this. It's really special.
As Sarah and I spend more time together, we're beginning to find common ground. And she is experiencing the landscape in a similar way to me.
So this view now, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So the bottom of the river's there. It's like coming out of a waterfall, I think. It must be deafening when you're nearer.
So you can enjoy it more audibly rather than seeing it right now because you can't see
but
much
I think
of it.
that's what being with you is making me realise. I think I go, oh, I can see that. It's making me realise that all the time up here, what I can hear.
Yeah.
I've got you. This is my right arm.
Geldi bir kara duman.
That evening, instead of sitting back, Sarah joins in the party.
So it's been 5 days so far, and things that if you had asked me a week ago, would you be doing? I would have said no, not my kind of thing, very uncomfortable, no thank you, have been absolutely delightful. We are with people who deal with goats and cows every day, and you worry that they will judge you as a Twitter idiot or something. You have a preconception, and the thing about Amar is that doesn't even come into his head. He's already dove in before you've even like, should we check the temperature? He's gone. So I'm following him, which means I'm in situations I wouldn't be in. Like pretending I could speak Turkish, singing around a fire.
What's the next word? Ana mı?
Kızın gönlü varsa.
Yürümesi var.
Kızın gönlü varsa. Kızın gönlü varsa.
The next morning, we wake to a mountain sunrise. These are the moments when it's shit being blind.
This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. I find it really difficult to describe it. 360 degrees, wherever I look, it's breathtaking. Like, I don't have words, but you could just sit all day and look at it. I wish you could see it. Is that bad?
It's not bad at all. It's not bad. I mean,
No, because so much of the stuff we're doing is about how we're both experiencing things.
yeah, and I experience it through your eyes.
I haven't seen a sunrise since I was 18. It's been so long that I'm slowly losing it from my imagination.
One of the things that worries me a lot is that it's been almost over 20 years since I lost my sight. And I'm just worried that I'm beginning to forget the way things look.
So would it be harder to build a picture in your mind?
Oh, massively. I mean, right now I'm able to just about get an idea of things that you describe, but like, it's just been so long since I've seen, and what does a cloud look like? What does somebody, smiling with their eyes, what does that mean? Like, let me tell you this, if you put 5 people's pictures that looked similar and characteristic to mine, I wouldn't even be able to tell you which one of them I was.
Yeah.
I couldn't recognize my mum. I wouldn't know who was my dad. It's something that's slowly fading from my memory, and I don't know how I can keep it going.
I had made a presumption that if you had spent all of your childhood up to 18 years old being able to see, then you would remember everything you had seen. The fact that that can atrophy must be terrifying and very frustrating. It's like you got Alzheimer's, you're forgetting what words mean, but with your memory, it makes me want to try a lot harder with explaining. I also feel we might be able to rebuild some things. And so now I want to concentrate on extending his visual palette in a very visual way. We've been concentrating so much on smelling and sensing and hearing, and those things are going to continue, but now I want to concentrate on visual explanation in a really, really visual environment.
So, I'm taking over the guiding now. And after a morning of research, I've decided that we're going to go south. It's a 500-mile journey from the coast to the region of Cappadocia, slap bang in the middle of Turkey.
We are now both in a place that neither of us have ever seen anything like, because there is nowhere else like this in the world. I want to explain it so well to you, not just that you can visualize it, but we're kind of increasing what you can visualize. Okay, single file up here, and it's going to get a bit steep, so just strong footing. Yeah, welcome.
Where are we?
Cappadocia.
Cappadocia was formed millions of years ago when volcanic eruptions rained a thick layer of ash onto the region. As this has eroded, it's left behind a unique and dramatic landscape.
It looks like we're on Mars, right? Do you know what I mean? No.
It's red.
The rock is red. It's like a rosy colour, and it's spread out in lumps and mini mountains all around us. You know, like, do you remember in a cartoon if someone had hit their head and a little bump would come up out of their hair?
I can imagine it.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So what would happen? So they go, like Tom and Jerry, you go
Yeah.
bonk on someone's head, and then they go whoop, and a little
All
bump
right.
would come out. Yeah. That's what these rocks look like. I mean, we're going to have to spend a lot of time here to try and make this make sense to you, because it doesn't really make sense to me, because it looks like nowhere else on Earth.
Yeah, I agree.
In truth, I've only got 24 hours to get this embedded in his mind.
We're going to go down on our bums. Okay, so I'm going first.
Okay, do you need a push?
No! Just like this, just like a crab. Be careful of your hands, it's spiky. Whoa!
Oh my God, wow. I'm gonna try and run down it instead. Think.
No, it's too
Yes.
steep. Woo! Careful. Oh God. So we're surrounded up ahead of us on the slopes and over to the right-hand side by the most incredibly huge kind of Stonehenge of willies. But this is all done by the environment. So imagine if there was a lot of giants and they were lying on their back with morning glory
And they've all slept very close together. And that's what you can see in front of you, just all in the air. Now, these are the only things that are left from a volcanic eruption over 1 million years ago. So this is the hardest of the stone.
So there's no way that I could reach the top bit, is there?
No, you're nowhere near the top bit. The top bit
How
is...
far have I got to, like, probably halfway?
No, nowhere near.
Really?
A 16th of the way.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible.
Humans have also lived here for millennia, digging enormous caves into the soft basalt rock. So now we're going deep, deep underground.
What we're about to walk through is an entire city, which is just so incredible to think about. Like whole communities of people. And it's not just like a house, it's 10 floors.
This network of tunnels is thought to have been built over 1,500 years ago and was used as a hiding place for when Cappadocia was under attack.
This is the room where they stored their food. So obviously it had to be absolutely massive because they had to store food so they could stay in here safely and feed up to 3,500 people. You put your hands out onto the wall in front of you. Hopefully you can feel that it's covered in scour marks, but they're obviously the end of a pickaxe that's been used, and they're etched all over the wall.
So I'm touching thousands of years of history.
One cave that I found out about in my research has become famous as a unique sensory experience.
Now, I don't really know what to expect of this place. The second I found out it existed, I knew that we had to come and experience it.
Oh, something's just... Is there cobwebs? I think there's cobwebs.
No, there's no cobwebs. What you're feeling is locks of hair by 16,000 different women who've all left them here with their details, with their name and address attached to them. Maybe put your head underneath it. Is this fun?
Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, it feels like I've got cobwebs around my head.
Yeah.
This is Mingen.
This museum is the world's largest collection of human hair. It all belongs to a local potter called Galip.
Monsieur Galip. Hello, nice to meet you. It's Summer.
Nasılsın? Benim müzemde bir Fransız kızla başladım 1979 yılında. Ama saçları güzel olduğu için ben bir parça istedim. O da birçok verdi neyse. Onu aldık astık. Ha ipek okşamışım ha saçları. Bana da böyle geliyor.
It looks like the trophies of a serial killer.
Shall we leave soon?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Was this sensory?
I have to give it to you. It was sensory, but not in a way that I probably enjoyed.
The tricky thing about Cappadocia is that it's too big to describe in one go.
On either side of you, you've got the kind of very dry, arid kind of grassy thing that's managing to survive.
You could spend a week in every valley, and there's hundreds of them.
So these are like little steps now that are helpfully made for us. Because the soil's so sandy, we can't even get a grip, can we?
Nope.
OK, here we go, back on the path.
My solution is to throw money at the problem.
What's that noise?
That, my friend, is the engine that is currently inflating our hot air balloon.
Are we going on one?
This one.
Shit, you're joking! We're off! It's such a...
We're floating up.
amazing sensation.
It's so gentle, isn't it?
So gentle.
In front of us, like a constellation of stars, there are all the other hot air balloons. And so they're tear-shaped, and they are as far as the eye can see. Our shadow, the sun's behind us, and our shadow is just crossing over the rocks.
You've just reminded me. I remember when I was about 10, and when the sun's shining behind you, like you become
Yeah,
taller,
you can be big or shorter, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening here?
Yeah. On the rock just below us, it's like layers of a trifle, like it's all slipped down, melting after it erupted from a volcano. Sometimes they look like they're peaks of cream when cream's been really heavily whipped.
Yeah.
And it's kind of pointing up.
Wow.
They're delicious.
Right. As you're describing things, although I can't see it, I'm beginning to get more familiar, like it feels like it's coming together.
As the sun sinks lower, I'm running out of time. Our last walk is through a deep, steeply sided valley.
Oh my God, that on the right is so big. There.
Yeah.
Where does it start from?
Okay.
Against the light sky, I can see this dark, big boulder shape, and it's so overpowering. It seems so big, and it's engaging me actually, and I've got a sense of it.
The afternoon sun silhouettes a boulder, and for the first time in decades, Alma can see an outline with his eyes.
So does that help you, this environment, make a bit more sense? You now get an idea of scale?
Oh God,
Our
so
size.
much.
Yeah,
this is just
good.
incredible. Like,
Good.
It's such an incredible landscape. I'm loving it.
I can't tell you right now if I'm near the edge of a cliff or on a flat plain. But to me, that doesn't matter. The sense I have of this place is so full of colour and detail. It just only exists in my imagination.
Cappadocia is just like, it's just been such a rich experience for me, and your descriptions have brought it to life. I'm envisaging these beautiful, different coloured teardrop shapes, balloons flying over the land.
Yeah.
And the way that you described all the detail, like, felt like I could see. That's never happened in a long, long time.
The very first thing when someone said to me, did I want to come on this trip with you? They said that when sighted people are with blind people, like, you really slow down and appreciate your environment. And I was like, sign me up. And then no one said, the guy be talking constantly. Like, I have not slowed down. This has been really busy, but really, 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 really brilliant. Being with you all the time has made me have to acknowledge my inclination to be solitary, or not to open up, or to be mistrusting of people, or to think, why would you talk to the man in the coffee shop? And then you have this incredible experience right in front of my eyes, and I realise what I'm shutting myself off from.
There's nothing to be afraid of there. Like, I think at the end of the day...
Some people are murderers.
Yeah,
Some people are. And I'm being flippant.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
For every moment that my blindness frustrates me, I know I wouldn't be here otherwise. It's blindness that makes me travel, and it's blindness that keeps me seeing the world.